Hi, my name is Hannah. Welcome back to my channel, Savage Reads. I am going to be doing a tag video today. I was tagged by the amazing Caitlin over at Bandy's Books to do the Booktube Journey Tag. Question number 1 is, how long have you been watching Booktube? Now, I have been watching Booktube for about 3 years. Question 2 was, how long have you been making Booktube videos? I have been making YouTube videos for 3.5 years. Question 3 is, what made you start making videos? And the reason I started making videos is I love to read. I have been reading so many books, and I was reading so many books and I started to have this problem. I had a friend invite me to her house to borrow some books, and I was so excited, and I got the books home and I started reading them and realized, I've read this one, and I had completely forgotten, and I wanted to maybe process and think about my books a little more and remember them better. And so I decided I needed to make videos to talk about the books that I read so that it gave me more of a chance to process what I'd read and think it through and maybe connect with other people who had read similar books. Question 4 is, are there any people who have played a significant role in your Booktube journey? There are so many people that have been so encouraging. I remember Brandon at Brandon's Bookshelf being very encouraging when I started my channel. Olive at A Book Olive shouted me out in a couple of videos, and that really helped me gain subscribers and was so nice of her to do. I have had such lovely encouragement from the channel Triumphal Reads and from Jolene at Bookworm Adventure Girl. Caitlin at Bandy's Books has been wonderful. There are so many people that have been both inspiring and supportive, but of course, probably the best person is my amazing husband, who is so thoughtful and so supportive of me with my hobbies, and I am so grateful for him and his support. Question 5 is, what kind of books do you like to read? Now, I am happy to read a little bit of anything. I love to try out different genres, but I do probably enjoy the most a good contemporary fiction book or a really great nonfiction book that's really well researched. I stick a lot with those two genres, but I love kind of stepping out of that. I have some amazing thrillers that I really like. Occasionally I love a sci-fi or a fantasy. I do like quite a bit of variety in what I read. Question 6 is, how has that changed since you started on Booktube? And I do think it's changed a little bit. There are some books that I read before Booktube that I definitely would still read now, but I do think that sometimes before I had the channel, I was jumping into books and book series that weren't great. I knew they weren't great, but I was just looking for quick escapism. Let's just read this book real quick. I think now that I have had the channel for a few years, I do tend to pick books that I can think about a little more critically and really try to analyze a little bit more and have things that I want to talk about. And I do think that it makes my reading a little bit more targeted, a little bit more meaningful, and not just something to pass the time, but something that I can actively engage in. And so I do like that about what the channel has done for my reading. Question 7 is, what kind of videos do you most like to make? Now, it will be no surprise to any of you who have followed my channel for a while. Most often, I do reading wrap-ups, and I love those kind. Honestly, when I see other people have done a reading wrap-up, that is going to be the video that I click on first. I want to hear about the books, I want to hear what people think, and I also want to talk about the books and what I think. But some of my favorite videos have actually been some of the ones that I've changed things up a little bit. I have one video where I was talking about a book while walking around the royal gardens in Madrid, and everything was dead because it was winter. And I had so much fun making that video. That one was a great time. I love doing yearly wrap-up videos as well, looking back on the past year. Those are some of my very favorite videos to make. Question 8 is, how has that changed since you started on Booktube? Do you think your video making style has changed over time? When I first started YouTube, I tried to do like a monthly wrap up for the first month or so and realized I can't remember all the books by the end of the month, and it was too many to put into one video. So I started doing 4 or 5 books at a time, and now I usually stick around 3 or 4 books per wrap up video. So that has changed. I like to think that the quality has changed in my videos. I feel like I know a little bit more about how to edit and how to set things up. And I also feel like I have gotten much more comfortable talking in front of a camera. So I think that things have for sure changed, but I have stayed pretty consistent in doing a lot of book wrap-ups. But as my channel goes forward, I have had fun trying out some different types of videos like this one that I didn't do very much of the first year or so of doing my channel. Question 9 is, do you script and or edit your videos, and has that changed over time? I do not script my videos, and because I'm just winging it, I do edit the crap out of my videos because I just say the same thing over and over again so many times, and I have to kind of cut it down. And when things don't come out of my mouth right, I just repeat myself because I know I can cut it down. And so I do sit and splice out all of the awkward pauses and all of the repetition. And sometimes I will cut out a whole section where I just think, nobody wants to hear about that. That opinion is kind of stupid anyway. Question number 10 is, what is the most viewed video on your channel? And I think the most viewed video still is my 2022 nonfiction wrap up. And I agree, that video was great. But hey, my 2023 nonfiction, also good. My best nonfiction of all time, also good. There are some other ones, but people, I think, just keep getting linked to that specific video, and it was great. Lots of really amazing books. Along with that, question 11 is, what is your favorite video you've ever made? And really, I think it's those end of year wrap-ups. I love looking back at all of the books that I have read over the year and getting to talk about them and revisit them. It is the best time of year, and I love watching everybody's yearly wrap-up videos. It is just, you know, the best Christmas present ever. Question 12 is, do you have a favorite book you read because of Booktube? I hardly have any books that I haven't read because of Booktube. I love getting recommendations from all you people. Thank you, and please keep it up. Question 13 is, do you have a favorite Booktube experience to tell us about? And I've talked about this recently, but my favorite Booktube experience was when I hit 1,000 subscribers. My husband had contacted some of my very favorite booktubers and got them to all send me a video congratulating me with book recommendations, and that was the most heartwarming thing. Even thinking about it now makes me want to tear up. It was so sweet. I have had some really good experiences here on Booktube, and that just was so wonderful. And I am so grateful that I get to be here with all of you amazing viewers and creators. Question 14, what does your book collection look like? My book collection is non-existent. I have bookshelves upstairs filled with children's books. And we're gonna have to get a new bookshelf soon. I keep just trying to get everything to fit, and it's becoming a bit of an issue because I buy a lot of books for my daughter. Now, my own personal book collection, I don't tend to buy books. The main reason being is that I feel like it's a bit of a difficult one for me to invest in financially, because I will read a book in a day and then I just spent all this money on something. So I am very much a library girly, but I do have a few books that have been gifted to me on this shelf back here. I have some kind of fun, we have some fun cookbooks. Right behind me, I have some of these beautiful books about clothing construction that just are so gorgeous. And I love to look at those. I have a few amazing coffee table type books that talk about the town that I live in and that talk about the castle that's up on the hill. and I love having those on hand. I also have a good collection of books that I make every year of all of our family pictures, and I make sure to do a year recap of everything that we've done and put all the pictures together. And so that is my book collection, but I don't have a lot of books that I have read hanging out on my shelves, which is too bad, but priorities. Right now, if anyone's getting books on their shelves, it's going to be my daughter. Question 15, what advice would you give to new people starting a booktube channel? And my advice is just do what you want with it. Don't listen to anyone else. Don't feel like you have to participate in whatever you don't want to do. Do what makes you happy. I love to talk about the books that I've read. And you know what? For the most part, I stick with that. Do I try to get out of my comfort zone and branch out and try different videos like this one? Yes, it can be fun. But don't feel like you have to be a kind of creator that you don't want to be. Do what you feel like and make this into a hobby that brings you joy for what it is. And question 16 is tag some people. So if you have heard this and you are interested in answering these questions, please consider yourself tagged. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any suggestions or advice on where you want this channel to go, let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you all on the next one.